All right, in today's trading journal, we got May 1st. May 1st, it was Wednesday. We had FOMC. So today's video, going to be talking a little FOMC, going to be talking a little bit. I did enter a new position today, so I'm going to be breaking down why I entered it and or the setup. It was on Phillips Morris, so PM. And then I'm going to be recapping the trades, the positional trades that I'm in, kind of giving my thoughts on that. So without further ado, I'm going to say if you could leave a like, comment, or subscribe, that would be very appreciative. And then without further ado, now let's get into the video. All right, so we're going to be starting with AEP and then working our way down. AEP and then down is going to be all the positions that I'm currently in. Verizon's just on the watch list. PM we just entered today, so I'll get into that. So what do we have on AEP? I'm just going to delete these lines. I was just kind of using these as a reference, but we have been in AEP since this weekly candle right here. We're going to turn off post market because it's going to be a little distracting, and I just don't care to see it. So we like this setup, and then just as a slight reminder, we got this little we like this setup. So I was back testing the weekly EMAs, and I found that a lot of my big winners came when these EMAs were coiled. That was the only rule I did add. The rest of the rules were still in there. The rest of the rules were SR flip, and then I was looking for signs of clear buying on the weekly. So clear volume buying spikes, SR flip, and then the EMAs are being coiled. Is the setup that I'm rocking right now, at least for this bullish positional strategy. I have made videos on that, so if you want to learn more about that, I do have a separate video for that. So here's AEP, and then if we turn off market replay, here is today. Don't love that we have an unfilled gap on the weekly. Certainly don't love that. So unfilled gap at about 85.26 or wherever this weekly candle closed. Spot on, 85.26. That's so baller. Nice daily candles right here, though. I will say, we had earnings beat. Earnings did beat yesterday, and then we had that large kind of sell candle right there. And then today, pretty much, it did completely engulf it, but it did have a little bit less volume. So not really sure what to make of this. I think this is pretty bullish for AP. I do like how this looks on the weekly. I don't love that we have that imbalance on the weekly, and that I think a wick down is likely going to occur to fill that before we continue higher. I'd like this to be a little constructive and fill that before we go higher, but if not, whatever, I guess. But anyways, the exit here is still going to be a close below the weekly 9 EMA. So yeah, that's the close. That's where our exit. So if we get a close below this weekly 9 EMA right here, this white screen on the screen, or white line on the screen, then we'll be out of this position. So that is AEP. Today was FOMC. FOMC, just to recap, nice bullishness to start, and then things really sold off towards the end. So we'll see what move actually occurs, but nice day for AEP nonetheless. It's not sure what kind of how much beta this has, or what electric looks like compared to S&P right now. But yeah, nice day for AEP so far, or week I should say. Duke Energy, I have that 100 just because 100 is a massive level. But just to recap, Duke Energy, we have been long since right here. We saw that nice high volume buying, SR flip, EMA's coiled, yep. And then we've had this weekly candle so far, so nothing crazy. We did kind of base and break here, and I think we just broke it. So base and break is just kind of a term I like to use for consolidation, so we're using this previous high right here. So this looks like a classic break and base and break. This looks like your classic base and break, and then we had that nice break to the upside here. So, front running earnings a little bit. Granted, today was FOMC, another big data day. Kind of curious to see how this holds up heading into earnings next Tuesday. So, I guess I like it so far on the daily. The weekly, we're running up into 100, which is a huge level. It can't be understated how big, the 100 is. First, it's a huge psych level. Second, it's where this wick came down on the monthly, and it's just, if we turn this on, we've had quite a few turns at this 100 psych level. We've had support here, we rejected it here, we're coming right back up to it. So who knows? If we blast through 100, then I'd like to see 100 service support later on. If we fail 100, I'd like to see this 97 service support, at least on the weekly. So big psych level Duke is coming into, which is fine, but it's gonna be big. I mean, even over here, we tapped 100 and kept rejecting it. So big level for 100. I mean, you had all these times over here. You had this rejection. You had this rejection here. So now if is this when we break it? Who knows? We'll see. So that is Duke Energy. Same thing as AEP. A weekly candle close below the 9 EMA, and we'll be out of Duke Energy. Longs. Commons. Commons is the equity of choice here. Same thing on SO. SO, we've been long since this weekly candle. The great thing about SO, actually no, not the great thing about SO, is SO reports earnings here coming up. So Southern reports earnings here, I think, in a few days. Few days. Tomorrow. Southern reports tomorrow, I think. I did have the 72 line on there for a reason. We'll leave it at 72.02, but 72 has been big. I mean, if we just go take a look across the board, 72 rejected right there. 72 pretty much failed it right here. 72 failed it right here. So, I'm not going to be super concerned if earnings sells off to 72. If anything, I'm going to look at that as a very good opportunity to re-add longs. Even if we turn on the line with markers, I mean, you can see it, right here, double top at 72. Right here, we get rejected at 72, and now we're pushing past 72. So, earnings, I'd like to see a bullish earnings, but if earnings comes back to 72, I'm certainly not going to hate it. If we come back to 72, hold these EMAs, and eventually hold it, then I'll look at that as a buying opportunity. So. Same thing as the other ones, weekly candle close below the 9 EMA, and that is our exit on Southern. Pep. Pep had 180 and 170 as my big levels. Same thing here, SR flip, high level buying, or high volume buying, I should say. And then EMAs are coiled. So we've been in Pep since last week. This is a newer one. Didn't really love it going into last week just because I really wanted to see what earnings did. So earnings was right here, nice sell-off into earnings. Then we had this extremely bullish day right here. So I think the daily tells a little bit better of a story here than the weekly on Pep. Since we did have that insane volume post earnings, I think we're likely creating some kind of bullish pennant right here, bullish flag. If this comes even farther down, 172, I'd be looking for support off 172 if this comes even farther. Some kind of bull flag off of 172 is essentially what I'm looking for here. So no surprise that we have a little bit of consolidation after that insane volume we had. So you can't really argue. So yeah, I'm looking for some kind of upside here on Pep. I think we could get it here within a few days. So other than that, we're watching the weekly here primarily, and we're looking for a close below the 9 EMA as our exit. So we're long until Pep proves otherwise, essentially. PCG, same story as the others. We've been in PCG since back here, closed with that long bottom wick. And then here's today. I had 18 just because it's a massive level. This looks like it is going for 18 again. But really nice day, actually. Really high volume buying day. What's nice is this did already report earnings, and we had some very nice high volume buying coming in today. So nice job, PCG. Same thing with the others. Weekly close below the 9 EMA, and we will be out long. I do like how this is pushing up. I think this is very likely going to reject 18. And then I think a very likely spot, this is going to find support if it does. Honestly, I'd honestly like it to reject here in the short term a little bit. Just to come back down, retest 17 one more time before that shot at 18. I think we have that shot towards 18 right now. We'd probably have 1, 2, 3, 7 weeks of upside, 1 week of downside. Don't love it. I'd honestly rather see a few weeks of downside right here before that 18 test, because that 18 test is going to be, if we scroll out, that 18 test is literally massive. If we break 18, it looks great. I don't know where we're going if we break 18, but obviously this is such a large candle right here. There's clearly not going to be a ton of volume going on throughout here. So we break 18, we might have a shot at 40 here. So yeah, huge level. So we're looking for a break below the 9 EMA on the weekly for an exit here on PCG. Otherwise, you look great on the daily. Surprisingly great on the daily. Toast. I reduced some of my shares in Toast today. I don't know. I just don't love it now that I'm looking at it again. Few reasons I don't love it. Reason number one, we had this nice top wick or upper wick right here on increased buying volume. It's a little bit of a sign of distribution. Our next volume spike is right here. Also a long upper wick, nice sign of distribution, and a nice double top right there. Next sign of distribution. There was one more candle. I was like, ugh. Honestly, no, I'm not really seeing it now. Well, you know, these are two low volume sells. Next high volume candle, not a ton. Okay. Don't hate it a ton. I did reduce a little bit. I don't love. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I reduced my position in half just because we have earnings coming up, and I'm not sure. You know, this is a huge spot on the monthly. I mean, look at this base it's created, and that's coming right back to retest it on the monthly. And we did have that high volume buying coming in on February during the February monthly candle, so I could see it. I guess I'm long until it proves otherwise here. You know, we break below the 9 EMA. Even this week, I think I'd look to close here. Just because we have earnings coming up, and I'd rather re-enter after earnings or find an entry after that. So I guess that's the plan here for Toast. Moving on to TXN. TXN, definitely not thrilled on this one either. I don't know. I'm kind of, you know, TXN reminds me a lot of Deer, honestly. I got burned on a Deer weekly trade. Also, Deer, yeah. Wow, I'm so glad I pulled this up. Deer, yeah, you look great. I do wanna, yeah, okay. I do need to watch this for it needs one more weekly buying candle, and that's good. But Deer really pissed me off. Kind of like back here, you know, we had that. It was right here actually. We had that extremely high volume weekly candle. This was post earnings, and then honestly, it did nothing but, you know, sell back off. It did nothing. So. Kind of TXN's giving me Deer vibes a little bit, but we will see. I don't know why I have this up here. What is this? What? The monthly? What trend line am I making here? The 3 month? Yeah, I don't know what's going on. We're deleting this trend line. Yeah, let's go look at the weekly. You know, we're still waiting for, you know, if this does lose 172 in the weekly, I don't think I'm keeping it, even if it does hold the 9 EMA. But we'll see. You know, I don't know. I certainly don't love TXN. And it honestly brings me right into ADI. Same thing, not in love. This honestly just looks like big distribution now. You know, ADI has been tricking me. Not tricking me. Yeah, it's been tricking me. We were back in ADI over here. Oops, not that candle. We liked ADI right here. Stopped out on that candle right there. No trade, and we're back here. So, you know, ADI, you know, you can just, yeah, you know, well, weekly close below the 9 EMA, we're about to get it, so screw you, ADI. Cool, I'll cut you. New position entered today, PM. We essentially, this is not a positional play right here. We're using this double top over here. This is your resistance, this is your support. High volume buying is extremely evident on this one, especially after post earnings, and then the low volume sell off is really nice to see. You know, this is a large sell candle, and if this volume right here was that sell candle volume, then that would be a very concerning candle right there. But instead, this is how big the sell volume was. You know, it's minuscule compared to, you know, the size of this candle and the volume we had down here. So low volume pullback essentially was what I'm trying to say there. So nice low volume pullback, and then we had a nice structure right here. I do like this structure. Kind of reminds me of the BMY structure that we took a ways back. Obviously BMY looks like shit right now, but we did see, you know, it made this nice double bottom structure right here. Very similar. You know, you got your SR flip, double bottom structure, and we did see that nice upside for like 4 or 5 days on BMY. So reminds me of that on PM, you know, very similar. So we're waiting for a close below 94.94, which is Tuesday's close right here, and we'll be stopped out. But we're long. CARR, carrier, we've been long carrier for a few, just this week. We went long carrier just this week. We did like that high volume buying. EMAs are coiled, nice SR flip. I like the high volume buying over here as well. Actually, let's go take a look at this weekly candle. March 4th, the week of March 4th, long upper wick. Let's see what that long upper wick was. March 4th is Friday, so not a ton of volume. That's really good to see. You know, I'd be really concerned if we saw the majority of this. This is what made that weekly candle insane, that Tuesday. A pretty solid bullish candle right there. This was the pullback that got it there. So not a ton of sell volume. We even had more sell volume in just this little candle right here. So that is good to see. That's not too much of a concern. But, I mean, realistically, I'd be looking for new longs off of CARR, like right through here. I think this is going to do essentially what PM's doing right now. I mean, it's your high volume or buying post earnings, high volume buying post earnings. Now we're coming back to recent highs, and we'll look to a long continuation off of recent highs, off that retest. So that is the thesis for Carrier. VZ, you know, I was looking VZ short. I always like to look at the inverted short. Back here, it was hard not to take it. Right here, it was hard not to take it short. I realistically should have entered short here, but just a personal rule, you know, like if I was playing this as a bull flag, I'd be waiting for this bull flag to confirm structure. You know, here's your here's your confirmed loss of structure. It's your lower high being put in right there. So we'd be looking for price to take out realistically this and create a new higher high on the daily. And anything before that, I just don't care. So, you know, I couldn't take it after this day because it still could have come right back, especially with CPI today. I didn't want to take it. You know, it could have come right back here, and we're still in the bear flag. Well, this is a bear flag, but where it's inverted, so technically a bull flag. But could have come right back down, made that double bottom, and then this close outside that flag. That's my entry, and I think we then have a nice sell off down. So just couldn't take it yet, and then today, I don't know. It's just whatever. It's just. Today it was giving me this, just not a ton of confidence. I think it's a likely retest, maybe one more shot like randomly up here, and then I think we go. I think that $40 rejection, if we get it, oh boy, that'll be money. And if it sells off, it sells off. I don't care. I wasn't willing to risk willing to risk what it's showing me right now. So whatever, you pick and choose your battles in this game. So that'll wrap it up for today. That is the March 1st update. That's what I got going on. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video.